Hey everyone! Before the story begins, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy deep, emotional stories like this. Your support truly means everything and helps keep this channel going. The departure board at Charles de Gaulle Airport flickered like a warning I couldn't ignore. Flight AF1287 to Lisbon, canceled. I stood there with my coat draped over my arm, my phone clutched tightly in my hand, my heartbeat pounding louder than the airport announcements echoing around me. All around me, frustrated travelers sighed, complained, and hurried to rebook their flights. I simply stared at the screen. Deep down, I already knew this wasn't because of bad weather, airline strikes, or simple bad luck. It was Camille. She had a twisted sense of humor, the kind that left emotional bruises while expecting everyone else to laugh along. I called her, straight to voicemail. I called again. Nothing. When I finally left a message, my voice sounded strangely calm. Camille, I'm at the airport. Call me back. We were supposed to fly to Lisbon together, one last getaway before our wedding. It had been her idea, a few days of sunshine, wine, and a symbolic fresh start after months of tension with her family. Then I checked my email. That's when I saw it, a confirmation from the airline sent just 2 hours earlier. Your reservation has been canceled. Mine, not hers. A cold feeling settled deep inside my chest. I recognized it immediately. It was the same feeling I'd experienced as a child growing up in Lyon, watching my mother quietly clear the dinner table after my father humiliated her in front of guests before smiling and saying, "It was only a joke." A few moments later, Camille finally texted, "Relax, it's just a prank. I'll explain later." Later, it was always later. I took the RER train back into the city while rain streaked across the windows, turning Paris into a blurry gray watercolor painting. When I reached our apartment in the 11th arrondissement, Camille was already home. Her shoes were kicked off. She was laughing while recording a video on her phone. "Your face must have been priceless," she said without even looking up. "I'm posting it later. People love couple prank videos." I stood frozen in the doorway, my suitcase still beside me. "You canceled my flight?" "Yes," she answered cheerfully, "but I didn't think they'd process it that quickly." "Oh, don't be so dramatic." Dramatic. That word had followed me my entire life, used like a leash to pull me back whenever I stood up for myself. "You know I had a meeting in Lisbon," I said quietly, "with the investors. You knew how important this was." She rolled her eyes. "You're always so serious, Adrian." "My God, it's like marrying a funeral." Something inside me cracked, not all at once, not loudly, just a quiet break that changed everything. Camille came from a family that treated control like an inherited talent. Her father, Etienne Moreau, was a powerful real estate developer in Bordeaux, respected by many and feared by even more. Her mother treated appearances like priceless works of art that always had to remain perfect. Camille had grown up believing affection had to be earned and attention could always be traded. I think she loved me, but only the way someone loves a mirror that reflects exactly what they want to see. Every detail of our wedding had been planned with military precision. The chateau in the Loire Valley had already been reserved, the guest list carefully approved. Every decision I made was tolerated, rarely welcomed. Whenever I questioned something, Camille would smile sweetly and say, "You're imagining things." That night, while she slept peacefully on her side of the bed, I stayed awake listening to the quiet sounds of the city outside. Old memories slowly resurfaced. My father's cruel jokes, my mother's silence, the generations of men in my family who learned to make themselves smaller just to survive women who confused control with love. By sunrise, my decision no longer felt driven by anger. It felt like clarity. I didn't argue. I didn't confront her. I simply packed a bag and went to my office near Canal Saint-Martin. I canceled every meeting. Then I started making phone calls. First, The wedding venue, calmly, politely. Cancellation due to irreconcilable circumstances. Then the caterer, the florist. Even the string quartet Camille loved so much. Each confirmation email arrived like another steady heartbeat. Finally, I called Etienne. There was a long silence after I told him. Not anger, calculation. You understand, he finally said, how this is going to look? Yes, I answered. That's exactly why I'm doing it quietly. He gave a short laugh. So this is revenge? No, I replied. This is a boundary. Then I forwarded everything. Late night emails Camille had carelessly written, cruel jokes about manipulating me, screenshots of group chats where she and her friends laughed about keeping Adrienne manageable, even an audio recording from an argument she never realized I'd captured, the one where she admitted canceling my flight because she wanted to remind me who was really in control. Etienne never responded after that. Camille woke up to an empty apartment and a wedding calendar filled with cancellations. She stormed into my office, mascara smeared across her face. "You're humiliating me," she shouted. "Over a joke?" I looked at her, really looked at her, at the little girl who had learned that cruelty was the same thing as charm, at the woman who would never stop testing how much of myself I was willing to sacrifice. "No," I said quietly. "I'm simply choosing to walk away." Everything unraveled quickly. Wedding invitations were withdrawn, rumors spread. Her family tried desperately to control the story, but money can hide patterns only for so long. Eventually, the truth always catches up. Sponsors quietly pulled away from her lifestyle brand. Friends gradually disappeared. 3 months later, I moved to Porto. The investors still believed in me. The Atlantic Ocean there felt wild, honest, and beautifully unforgiving. Its waves crashed against the rocky shore without pretending to be gentle. On my first Christmas alone, rain swept across the Douro River, while holiday lights shimmered on the water like broken stars. I felt lonely, but I also felt free, and that mattered far more. Late that evening, Camille sent one final message. "You ruined everything." I typed a reply, then deleted every word. Some silences deserve to remain silent. I stood beside the river, breathing in the cold air mixed with the scent of salt, and finally understood something my parents never had. Love that demands your humiliation is not love at all, and sometimes quietly walking away without looking back is the bravest form of revenge.